Budget Secretary Butch Abad has faced the Senate to answer several questions on the controversial Disbursement Acceleration Program or DAP fund, which was declared by the Supreme Court as unconstitutional. Abad explained to the Senate Committee of Finance that the said funds are accumulated idle funds from unobligated allotment or savings of different departments. Dormant funds, meantime, were used to accelerate public spending, which he said contributed a lot to the increase of the Philippines' economy. He further added that DAP, which can generically be called as savings, is actually not a new practice, for it has also been used by the previous administrations. Abad, meantime, continued to invoke good faith for the DAP and assured that the Budget Department will upload a complete copy of list of projects included in the DAP.
Wala ho kaming nakahawakang pera dyan. The closest that we can get to any cash is the issuance of the notice of cash availability. At yun po, kapag in-issue ho namin, ang sinasabi lang namin, yun pong treasury, naglagay na ng pera sa inyong bank account at pwede na kayong mag-issue ng cheque para bayaran ng inyong creditors or suppliers. So maski na ho kami sa DBM, gustuhin man namin, wala ho kaming hinahawakang cash na ibinibigay sa mga departments. Ang hinahawakan lang namin cash ay yung budget ng aming kagawaran at wala akong iba.
Way above the initially revealed amount, Abad meanwhile admitted that the total savings pulled under the DAP reached 237.51 billion pesos.
237 billion. Welcome back to Philippines Uncut. I'm Buddy Cunanan. Tonight's topic is political dynasties, PDAP and DAP. And joining us still are the two officials from the movement against political dynasties, Danilo Olivares, co-chairman, and SecGen Attorney June De Leon. Attorney Mr. Olivares, welcome back to Philippines Uncut. Diretso na po tayo sa usapan. We heard it from the horse's mouth. Sabi ni Mr. Abad, savings daw. And he called out a big number. 237 billion daw yung na-save nila. So, ang galing naman nila mag-save ng pera. Di ba? Tayo sa mga bahay natin, household savings lang. Hirap-hirap tayo mag-save. Ito, 237 billion. Anong comment mo doon, attorney? Sa that monster number, 237 billion.
Well, that's a very huge amount. If their intention was really to pump prime the economy, wow, boy, we must be somewhere else now. Our economy must be at some higher level now.
Correct, yeah.
But it was not as we witnessed in the Senate hearing, payment to BOC obligation, buying of PICOS. And one before the program, Mr. Alvarez was whispering to me, Senator Osmeña was questioning the money is spent to build highway interlock.
10 billion
10
more.
billion,
10
yes.
billion.
From DAP, without
Yes.
any bidding, and it's awarded to a private contractor.
I think it's a private contractor. I read the newspapers, like the Angeles family. Or
But no
something like
bidding.
that. No bidding.
Oh.
That's, I mean, you're talking about 10 billion and no bidding? That's
Yeah.
pretty...
So, all of this
curious,
kind of disbursement, there's no, you cannot see the logic how it pump prime the economy.
In fact, I have some, again, from the media. Sabi nga dito, included there are 250 million pesos for the construction of a library at the House of Representatives. 300 million plus for the equipment of PTV4. 300 million for computer network of terminals, DepEd. So, yun nga, paano na-pump prime yung economy?
Yeah.
So, you don't need to be a masters in economics.
I mean,
to see that.
we're not saying these are not good projects, pero
These are good.
Yes.
Yeah.
But to pump prime the economy, oh man, that's...
And again, we go back to the savings. In our first segment,
Okay,
Attorney, Mr. Duvanes, we talked about savings. And clearly, paano nga naging savings to? Kung hindi nga end of fiscal year, saka mo lang malalaman na meron nga savings.
Yes.
Diba?
Yeah. Oh.
Yes, exactly.
What was your what were your feelings, Mr. Rivares, when you were watching or listening to the Senate hearing a while ago?
I was frustrated. I thought there would be fireworks, no? Questions will be asked of Secretary Abad na talagang that will really get a lot of information from him, no? It turns out that some senators were asking leading questions to help the administration have more argument for the Supreme Court to revisit the decision that DAP is unconstitutional. You know,
Okay.
parang I find it with some senators there, I find the line of questioning parang sarsuela. You know.
Okay, attorney.
Ako ang take ko dyan I think the administration is not really expecting that there will be reversal of the ruling. It's 13-0.
Now,
It's
in
hard
your,
to
in your
reverse
experience as a lawyer,
that. Yeah, it's hard to reverse that.
that is really...
Okay. Now, why did they file MR,
Okay.
motion for reconsideration? I guess it's just to erase any any possibility of culpability on their part. They just want the Supreme Court to declare that those DAP, though unconstitutional, but when you disburse it prior to its declaration of you're in good faith.
Okay, as a lawyer again,
Yeah.
this whole good faith argument,
Yes.
because we keep hearing that, good faith namin ginastos
Yeah, because-
to, maganda yung...
Criminally, pag sinabi mong hindi ka good faith doon, it opens you to possible criminal prosecution. That's technical malversation.
Okay.
You spend a government money for something else, not for its intended use.
So
That's
technical
technical
malversation is a criminal
And that's
offense.
also violation of Graft and Corrupt Practices Act.
Now, this good faith, ano yung effect nito? What does this give them, the people now who are in power?
It eradicates any possible legal liability on the part of culpability on the part of President Pinoy.
So what you're saying is that because they have this good faith defense, hindi na sila pwedeng kasuhan. Like in the case of Mr. Aquino,
Yes.
after he steps down from power, 2016,
Yes.
hindi siya pwedeng kasuhan.
Yes.
He cannot be
Yes. Kung
charged.
kasuhan man siya, of course, meron siyang good, valid legal defense of good faith. There's a declaration from the Supreme Court that we're in good faith.
Okay.
Kasi as the decision now, wala namang maliwanag na sinabi that they're in good faith.
So,
But how can it be nga in good faith? You know, when the disbursements were to the Bureau of Customs, to SGS, to buy PICOS machines, is that in good faith to accelerate the economy?
pero attorney, how does this affect, I mean, the legal battle that could come after 2016? Itong good faith. I mean, he can still be charged, can he, no? Or are you saying no?
Criminally, no?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Okay.
Siyempre, number one lang naman dyan, plunder
Okay.
Pero pag sinabi ng Supreme Court, okay, unconstitutional yun pero good faith naman kayo wala na. It erases the criminal culpability.
Okay. Okay. So you're saying he's scot-free?
Oh, yun ang take ko.
Oh.
Why did they file MR? Not really expecting for Supreme Court to reverse the ruling,
Okay.
but to have them declared in good faith.
Pero, so what happens after 2016 when, let's say, I mean, theoretically speaking, may flood of lawsuits yan? Ano mangyayari? Anong pwede mangyari?
On the part of President Pinoy, hindi mo na siya makakasuhan criminally. Okay? Doon sa ibang mga government officials na merong evidence that they spend the money illegally, let's say binigay sa isang bogus NGO, pwede mo siyang
Police type
kasuhan.
NGO,
Na
diba?
police type NGO, pwede mo siyang kasuhan.
Oo. Oo.
But hindi ba Secretary Abad confirmed na walang lumabas sa DAP without the approval of the President?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, what is the effect of that?
Well, kung hindi sila ma-declare in good faith, there's conspiracy
Yes.
to
wow.
plunder.
Wow. Wow. You know, there's one unsung hero in this whole thing because he's now in detention, si Senator Jingo
Yes.
Estrada. Pero isipin natin lahat, kung hindi binulgar to ni
Hindi-
Senator
hindi
Estrada sa
malalaman.
kanyang privileged
Yes.
speech, this thing would have been
Yes.
unknown to all of us, to you, to the public.
Tingnan mo, yung mga senators who voted for conviction of Corona in the impeachment, they were given 50 million additional pork barrel, right? That came from DAP. So how could DAP pump prime the economy by giving 50 million each to each senator?
Yun nga, if their objective was to pump prime the economy, dapat yung executive department
Executive
yung
dapat.
gumastos nun.
Yeah.
Because they are the implementers of the project.
So, Mr. Alvarez, I mean, in your opinion, why did they give it to the senators? I mean, sabi, pump prime daw. Pero bakit sa legislator mo bibigay?
Well,
Hindi naman yun yung core responsibility.
They have a different agenda. It's very plain and simple. Di ba? They want Justice Corona to be removed from office.
Well, yun nga po yung sinabi
simple
ni
as that.
Senator Estrada
Yeah,
nung
yeah.
isang speech
But,
niya.
you know, Secretary Abad was saying na yung DAP pala 2010 meron na. No? But how come this was all hush-hush? Nobody knew about DAP until
Kumanta nga
Jingoy
si
Estrada
Mr. Estrada.
dropped the bomb on them na meron palang DAP because nakatanggap siya ng 50 million. as a sort of a bribe to...
Sabi niya,
sabi
according to
niya,
him,
no?
yes.
No? So, how come they kept this all hush-hush quiet? Kung talagang maganda pala in good faith, they're doing this because it's to pump prime the economy and to help the country.
Yes, because
no?
good faith presupposes transparency,
Yeah, they should
accountability,
be transparent.
openness.
You know?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And
So-
it's also very peculiar that for the longest time, hingi yung mga tao na asan na yung listahan ng DAP
Alam-
projects. Pero until now, wala pa.
That's a good point. After Jingoy Estrada's bombshell, no, tahimik sila. No? They were really caught flat-footed about that. No? So tahimik sila. Until again, the Supreme Court ruled about it unconstitutionality. Only then did they decide na, hey, we better explain to the people. No? So after that, talagang they were scrambling to...
Overtime sila sa DBM.
Yeah, overtime sila to come up with valid reasons why, how, and why money was dispersed from the office of the president to DBM. No? And so all this is, for me, strange. No? Ngayon lang sila nagkakandara pa ipaliwanag sa tao na we acted in good faith. Ito, mga disbursements namin, they itemize it without explicit explanations. Something is wrong, you know. Something is wrong with the...
Hindi, saka yun nga, buddy, 237 billion savings.
Ang
Okay,
laki nun,
let's assume it's savings.
Assume it, okay.
And your intention really is to accelerate the development, pump prime the economy. Let's say for a year, housing problem. For so many years, it has been there. You spend $1 billion there, and in a year's time, you solve the housing problem.
Yes.
Lack of school facilities, buildings. You spend another $1 billion for another year.
Sir, wag na tayo lumayo pa. There are still people in Leyte who are
Yeah.
living in cardboard boxes
Until
or whatever.
now.
Until now.
Yeah.
Kung talagang pump priming yan, bakit yung mga tao doon until now,
Yes.
nasa lean-to pa rin
With
sila, nasa tent.
237 billion
Ang laking
savings.
pera, eh.
Ano nangyari doon?
You could have done so many things.
The reconstruction of Bohol.
Yes.
Diba?
Yeah.
Of Zamboanga.
Yes.
All these places.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, kanina nga, maganda nga yung comment ni Senator Grace po. Sabi niya, yung mga projects na iba dito na nilista niya na pinaggamitan ng DAP, these are good projects. Pwede niyo naman isubmit to sa Congress, pabudgetan niyo eh. Wala naman ako nakikita ditong emergency or rush that it should be rush eh.
Yun yung sabi ni
Aaprubahan
Pinoy.
din naman yun eh.
Yun sabi ni Pinoy, sabi niya his no parking analogy dun sa speech niya nga, di ba? Sabi niya, kung may emergency, walang nakasabi no parking, kung may nakasabi no parking, pwedeng pumarada doon kasi emergency.
Ay, wala namang emergency yung
Kaya nga,
infrastructure.
kaya nga.
This is something na
Kaya nga.
mapupursi mo eh.
Yes, yes. Nakaplan niya.
Except lang yung mga disaster, di ba? That's something you cannot
At saka
plan for.
hash-hash nga lahat eh. Why? Why? No? Whereas, nung binobomba na yung PDAP, because, may mga rallies pa nga against PDAP, there was nothing said about DAP. No confession, no revelation that there is another budget,
Fund.
no? Another fund. No? Until nga, Senator Estrada came out with the bombshell. And even then, they did not, parang dinedma nila eh, hindi nila pinasikaga.
Parang
no?
it seemed that they felt that it would go away.
Oo, I think just
Ito
go
lang ang
away.
basic question eh. If they're using DAP since 2010, now it's 2014. And sabi nila, it helped boost the economy. The question now, are there more or less poor people now than let's say 2 or 3 years ago? Are there more employment now compared 2 to 3 years ago?
Good question. Attorney, Mr. Alvarez, hold that thought. If we pause for another break, time goes by very fast in initial guys. Guys, more of political dynasties, DAP, and PDAP when Philippines Uncut returns. Pero